Now, meteorologist Justin Kiefer with your latest Titan 13 forecast.
9 minutes after 6 o'clock here on a Friday morning. It's a very stormy morning for parts of the Florida Panhandle as we watch a low pressure area trying to form up in the Gulf of Mexico. This has been a very problematic low pressure for the entire state for the last 3 days. It's time for the Panhandle to catch some of its negative weather. We're going to start with Titan 13 Doppler radar first. And as I do, Chris Marchand is at the controls of the Titan 13, so we're going to zero in on some of the negative weather happening right now. For a time, there was a tornado warning for Franklin County. That has since expired, but there's still some rough storms and heavy showers down there. So Chris, let's zero in. Let's get a little closer on some of this action going down the south end of the Apalachicola River Valley. Tighter shot shows that right now in Gulf County, over toward Port St. Joe, that's where the heaviest of rain is. Also now moving offshore into the Cape San Blas, St. Joseph Peninsula area, northward up toward Mexico Beach, seeing some heavy rain, and then curling backward over toward Weewahitchka. Chris, put the loop into motion for me. Let's see what's happening, the direction of these showers. They're trying to spin around an area of low pressure, which is further offshore. So what's happening is these lines are spinning up over land. We're seeing a little rotation within the individual cells. So there is a threat for severe weather today. Certainly gusty winds, heavy rain out of these what will become somewhat tropical downpours. Weather computer, please, and we'll look at a little bit larger picture of radars across the northern Gulf of Mexico. And you can see what appeared to be a circulation center moving through the Appalachia Bay, but now what I believe is happening is the upper level low is throwing this moisture up in a northerly direction, while the low level low pressure center is still well south of Apalachicola. And here's what I expect to happen now with the low level low pressure circulation. Since it is not going to be moving inland toward Tallahassee or in the eastern Panhandle, it does look like it's going to be moving slowly westward across the northern Gulf here for the next 24 hours. Watch what the Titan 13 weather model does. It takes the low pressure south of Appalachia, gets a little bit stronger as it parallels the coastline and comes in near Biloxi. Will it have enough time or enough space to become a strong tropical system? Well, that remains to be seen. But I do expect that we'll have some fairly rough weather here, perhaps some gusty winds, some strong feeder band type rain. I would say prepare for tropical storm conditions during the day today if you are near the Gulf Coast. Inland areas probably won't see that bad of weather at all. Right now it is kind of gusty. I'm going to go back over at this point to the Titan 13 Doppler radar, and Chris Marchand is going to take you through a little tour of these locations across the Panhandle and their winds associated with this system. Chris.
Well, thanks, Justin. Yeah, as the storm comes off of the Gulf of Mexico in Apalachicola, some of our weather watchers had called earlier and told us they had some pretty gusty winds in Apalachicola. So let's take a look. They are coming out of the east now as the storm comes off the Gulf of Mexico. 22, 20 in Apalachicola, Panama City. We're seeing winds about 15, 16, gusting up to 17, 18 miles an hour. Up in Bluntstown, as the storm gets closer in our northern part of the viewing area, 12, 13 miles an hour. And the storm is going to continue to come across the Florida Panhandle, our viewing area. And so you're going to see some pretty good gusts as the morning goes on. So be careful while you're driving around, heading out to work and school. We'll keep you updated if any watches or warnings change. Right now, I believe all our watches and warnings have dropped in our viewing area. But if there are any changes, we will let you know about that. Justin.
Chris, that's awesome. So the wind over the Panhandle, 20, 15, 20, 25 miles per hour.
Right.
So it's breezy. You know, it's not a severe wind, but it's just sort of an indication of the kind of day we're going to have.
Right.
Oh, great.
Keep an eye on it for us.
Oh, we will. We'll be on top of it. Right now, no active warnings, as Chris just mentioned.
Right.
There is a tornado watch well east of us, over toward Gainesville, Lake City, that area. But right now, the Panhandle, no watches, except for the fact that Okaloosa, Santa Rosa, Escambia County has a coastal flood watch. I wanted to mention that for the potential for some onshore wind blowing the beach, the water out of the Gulf up on the beach. No, none of that for the eastern Panhandle. It's all the western Panhandle right now.
Okay. All right. Thanks, man.
Okay.
Let's change direction.